I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm okay. I want a mod to make Cloud's hair even spikier. Doesn't Barrett call him Spiky Head like a bunch?
Yeah, I mean, his hair is definitely less spiky. Ever since, it's never been as spiky as the original FF7. I mean, his hair would probably be jutting out another 6 inches. But they had to make him a pretty boy, and that's pretty much the max length spike that you can get away with.
Rip.
I didn't think word would spread this fast. There's barely anyone on this train, and none of them look happy to be here.
Yeah, it's because they're going to, like, work, dude.
Dude, an entire Maka reactor exploded, like, 2 days ago. Of course everyone in Midgard is gonna know.
Talk to every NPC.
Yeah, sorry, they don't even allow me to, thank God.
Talk to Salt Bay! Talk to Salt Bay!
Cloud. Hi.
Go talk to Salt Bay. He's just sitting right there.
I know, but...
Wait, do you not know who Salt Bay is?
No.
He's the guy with the sunglasses. He's the guy in the meme who throws the salt. He was like, shh.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that image. I don't know anything. What's it from? Just some random thing?
That's literally him. He's just that.
Would you mind keeping an eye
And he has a restaurant or two or a couple in Florida.
Okay.
And it costs like hundreds of dollars to like have him come in and like prepare a steak or whatever and throw the salt and all that. And rumor is it, because he has like multiple ones, that a lot of times they're not even him, they're just lookalikes. Pretty based. If I had a doppelganger, I would use them to fullest potential.
So, do you still support those terrorists? Avalanche is a blight on Midgard. Their bomb threat has thrown our offices into chaos, let alone the reactor itself. It's total insanity!
I do like how they show more, like...
But we won't lose heart. No! Everyone
like,
in Shinra
personality in both sides of the stuff, you know?
Yeah. I was just thinking that, obviously, this one, Barrett is a lot more... He's still wild, but he's not as crazy as the original game.
Yes.
Where, like, he beats his, like, chest and, like, slams his arm against the seat.
I think they made a really good take on that, because it would be very weird to see him do that.
Yeah.
As like a 6'5", 400-pound guy going, ooh. Like, I think, well,
yeah,
Yuffie's in this game. Is she as like silly as she is in the original 7?
She is pretty goofy.
But that's okay, because she's literally like a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, she's like, I think she's 16.
Yeah.
Maybe.
15, 16, something like that. But yeah, it would be very weird. If I remember correctly, oh man, it's been so long.
But yeah, even Yuffie, her personality is pretty similar, but she doesn't do that weird thing where she, like, I don't even know what she does, like, shakes rice at you.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea what she does in the original FF7 when she, like, shakes her arm, and then, I guess it's like rice or something.
I kind of forget, but Don Canero in this game isn't as comically crazy, I think.
He's pretty...
Okay.
He's pretty crazy.
Okay.
I think they did the Don pretty good.
It hasn't been that long. It's only been 2 years, but dang.
Still alive?
So what? No help?
Nope. Thankfully, at this point forward, until we get separated, 3-party team, and that is so helpful. So much less pressure on like one person to survive. And in hard mode, even when you're defending, because it only does it defends against half damage, you still do tons of damage, even if you're guarding against something.
But I work for Shinra. I'm the enemy.
I don't care. I don't want anyone to die. Please.
I love you.
I'll look after the others.
What a weird guy.
My turn.
Dude, I don't even care if he's a good or bad character. Sid is in my party at all times.
Sid's pretty good. I mean, I think the uncontested worst character is Vincent in the original game.
Yeah, the only time Vincent's good at all is when you get the overflow, but that's killing 65,432 enemies, I think?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's such a ridiculous number, and it's a glitch. I mean, it's just that Vincent's... I hope when they do Vincent, if he's in Part 2, I hope his limit break is better than the original game. It should be.
So clearly, I don't know about this game, but clearly in the original FF7, Tifa's top tier. I don't even think that's close.
Yeah, Tifa...
I think that it's Yuffie, because Yuffie's ultimate weapon and stuff are like really good for morphing and all that.
Morphing, and she has a multi-hit limit break.
Yeah.
Honest-
Barrett's low tier. I guess it would be Cloud next.
Barrett, his final limit break is pretty good. But, yeah, I guess the best would be Tifa, and then I want to say just Cloud, and then probably Yuffie. And then Barrett probably fourth.
And then
Sid's not bad either. He has a multi-hit limit break.
I would say Sid's better than Barrett, but just by a little. And then I would say Kate Sith, and then Red 13, and then Vincent.
I mean, Kate Sith is technically the best because slots are so stupid if you know how to manipulate it.
I don't count that though.
But yeah, you can't count it.
I never really used Red 13, so I would definitely put him down there.
Red 13's probably the second worst. Although, if you're using Kate Sith legitimately, he's the second worst.
My party always ended up being Cloud, Sid, and Yuffie. Because I didn't do the Tifa, like, death blow stuff and whatever, you know? So mine was always that.
Yeah, I played through the original FF7 on Steam a couple years ago, and I think my final team was Cloud, Tifa, Yuffie.
Sir. The one survivors is soon.
Yeah.
Where's the third? In custody, sir. Return it to the wild. Yes, sir. Right away.
We meet Scarlet in this game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. She's ridiculously, like, over the top.
Yeah, she is just in full domination mode.
Yeah.
And Scarlet actually shines in Intergrade too. She's like the most prominent like Shinra thing.
Cool. Do we meet Palmer in this game?
Yeah.
Do we meet Hojo in this game?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude,
Man, you don't remember
I
anything about
know!
this game.
My memory is awful. I remember work-related stuff, and that's it. I'm SpongeBob. Gotta work, gotta work, gotta work, gotta work, gotta work. I think we can we all agree that in the original FF7, by far the weirdest scene in the entire game is when you meet Hojo on the beach. It's just so bizarre that he's just like on vacation. You already know he's a bad. You don't know how bad he is at that point, but you already know he's a bad guy.
Yeah, but you already meet him when he's treating Eris like a test animal.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah, and like he's sick with Red 13 on him, so you already know how horrible he is. But yeah, that entire Costa Del Sol scene is bizarre.
Like, I like it because it's so stupid and silly, but it's also like, isn't it like Barrett or Cloud want to fight him and he's like, I'm on vacation or something like that, and you're like, okay.
Finally, I think this is the first time you officially have 3 party members.
Let him go. Let Barrett go so they can kill 1 million Shinra employees.
That's gotta be the last one.
and so on. Up to what?
To eat.
Lucky us.
I can't believe they planned for the idea that they had to abandon the train.
Anyway,
I guess it makes sense.
I figure you'd have to.
before and the main pillar what they had to blow out. And we ended up on the adjacent
Is it still the same reason why they get caught? Because Jesse made clouds like special or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they just failed the ID check. They passed the first initial one, but then there's an emergency one, and then they failed that one.
Let's move.
Yes, ma'am.
I would say the one thing that despite Midgard being a big part of 7, I do wish it was bigger in the original game, but losing Big Wedge and Jesse so early always, even back then, seemed like a kind of a waste. You know, it seemed like lose them later, you know? I get that it's to, like, give them a reason to go on and everything, but the plate could have fallen and, like, you know...
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think both this game and the original kind of flubbed the sector fall, the plate fall, because in FF7 it's very abrupt, and like when you get to the supporting like pillar, like it's already in progress, and like you really get through it in like 10 minutes. But in this game, like, because they know about it beforehand, they start evacuating early, and it's like a whole thing about evacuating people, like, as many as possible. And it sort of loses that immediate impact of, obviously people still die, but it just feels like a minimal amount of casualties happen, despite it being a plate fall.
Yeah.
So I think I still like the original FF7, how they did it. It's just one of those things where, like, in this game, they spell it out.
I think it's also one of those things where they knew clearly there were more parts, that they didn't want to, like, kill off anyone, even, like, a bunch of, like, side characters, if they don't have to, at least at this point.
But it gets to the point where it's, like, the main landowner of, like, the apartment that Tifa and, Cloud are staying at, the old, like, white-haired woman, like, is part of, like, the rescue effort while the plate's falling, and it's like, you focus on her, and then she's, like, directing people, and it's like, man, they just went so hardcore.
Yeah.
So many more things going on. But because, like, while the plate's falling, I mean, we'll probably get to it next part. Maybe. No, there's a lot to go.
It's on you. Watch it learn.
I'm counting on you.
I will say in Intergrade, aerial combat's a lot better, so thank God for that. I'm really hoping that they, like, revamp all the movesets in Part 2, because for the most part it's pretty good, but it's just, you have, like, one combo for every character, so, like, a couple combos or maybe, like, timing-based combos would be really nice.
So Intergrade is literally a separate, like, expansion or game or whatever.
Yeah, it takes place during the events of this game, like in the middle. So they add like a thing where Yuffie comes to Midgar beforehand and goes to Shinra HQ. I don't want to spoil everything, but that's generally what's going on, which is why it's like sort of short.
Did this game, it really didn't do much in terms of DLC.
Pretty much nothing other than the separate Intergrade thing.
You can play Intergrade on PS4?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a separate expansion altogether.
That's, like, pretty cool. It's so weird for a game to come out and not just be filled with, like, random, like, dumb DLC crap.
Yeah. And the good but bad thing about it is that Yuffie starts at level 25, and the level cap's still 50, but you have to start over. You have to find all the materia again. You have to find all different accessories and weapons. So it definitely feels like it's just a mini, like, basically FF7 1.5.
Your colleagues put up all that stamp review. Without it, we'd be lost for sure.
So specific. What about an arrow? What
Yeah.
about an avalanche sign?
They think about every detail possible. It's like, come on, guys.
Oh, it's the dog. The dog stamps points in the direction. Okay.
What's that?
Nothing good.
Guys, I think it might be a nest.
All kinds of creepy crawlies make themselves at home in the lake and get messed up even more by the lot. Keep it together. My turn.
All things considered, YouTube land, is this the best remake of all time?
Would say that.
And what, in your opinion, as a question of the part, is the best and/or worst remake of all time?
Yeah, that's a hard one, because I, in general, don't really like remakes at all. I think mostly, like, games should just retain their original vision.
Yeah, but this does such a good job of making it a completely separate
Yeah.
experience.
It's so different that I don't really mind it. Yeah,
I was honestly worried that it was going to be 1-to-1, and I was like, oh man, like just to do the exact same thing again in prettier graphics is fine. But yeah. I guess HD remasters don't count as remakes, because that would just be the Silent Hill one, but HD remaster is definitely different. Resident Evil 2 is a really good remake. Resident Evil 3...
yeah, Resident Evil 2 is a really good one. That's probably my personal favorite. Because this game, I really like it, but I do think it is inferior to FF7, because, I mean, the scope of the game is just, like, it's only one part.
Yeah.
It's not really fair to, like, compare it, like, fully. But, like, RE2, I mean, if you want to watch my PS1 playthrough of it, I like the game, but it is probably my least favorite of the PS1 trilogy. And RE2 Remake is just, like, unquestionably a
Oh,
better
wait,
game
the
to me.
best remake is Resident Evil GameCube. Resident Evil 1 GameCube.
That's also a good one. Yeah, Resident Evil, like, is really good at remaking, other than 3.
A lot of people, I don't like Pokemon at all, but a lot of people consider Heart Gold and Soul Silver to be very good remakes.
Yeah, I also like Leaf Green and Fire Red. So that's also a decent one, but definitely not my favorite remakes.
You know which one I actually kind of like? The Ocarina of Time 3DS remake. I actually played it in full on the 3DS, and it changed enough that I pretty much enjoyed it. I mean, obviously it's Ocarina of Time, you know, so it's good regardless, but I very much enjoyed that one.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time, it's like unquestionably like the superior version in terms of performance and just like how it runs. And like gyro aiming and stuff is really nice, but I don't like just like very little things like the atmosphere, like the lighting is different, like just because it's like a newer console, I feel like it lost some of the charm of the original N64, and that's probably just all rose-tinted glasses speaking. But I like the original N64 version better.
We've compiled our report on Avalanche's combat capabilities and our report. What do you think a damn report will do anyone?
Oh, one more to mention. I actually really like the GoldenEye 007 Reloaded, or whatever they called it. Just what? I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I guess compared to the original N64 when it's aged so badly.
It's not a Game of the Year thing, but it was something where it was like, hey, look, I remember this place, but it like added more to it, and I was I know it's
It's been years, but when I played it, I was like, this is just a Call of Duty.
I know
game.
it's GoldenEye of Duty. I get that, but like, I also don't particularly like the original GoldenEye, so I guess that's makes it for me.
Prepare the prototype in Section E for immediate deployment.
It's not really fair, but definitely the preferred way to play GoldenEye nowadays is that there's like a 60 FPS like hack that you do for like N64 emulation for that game, and you can play it with full mouse and keyboard support. That's definitely like the best version, but it's not like officially like released or supported.
Does it have online multiplayer?
I don't think so. I think it's just a 60 FPS and keyboard.
I
hack.
know some emulators have like
emulation
system link. I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah, I don't keep up with emulation that much, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that's supported. It'd be cool.
I think even back in the day, some NES ones had like.
In fact, I remember
like
I remember watching someone play Mario Party, like just N64 emulation, and they were doing 4-player like online multiplayer. So it probably exists. There's probably just some sort of like onboard baked in online multiplayer in like some emulator somewhere.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
You're starting to sound like Barry.
It's a good plan. Hey, hold up. This way.
No.
It's not letting me. I have to walk there.
It's a lot tighter than I thought it would be.
If they was 10 between us and the rail yard, get a choice.
I wanted to get done with this section, and we'll have enough time.
Let's go! Sneak up on him. JK. I think all I ever did with Barrett was Maximum Fury.
Yeah, Barrett, I do like the same thing. Either it's like Focus Slash or Maximum Fury. If they're like a rare opportunity where they're like staggered, using a Smackdown or whatever it's called is pretty good, but yeah.
One, 3, 3, 4 experience.
You just you switch to Barrett every once in a while, and you look how far his bar is up to do overcharge. If overcharge is there and his like ATB isn't max, you use it immediately, and then you just make him do Maximum Fury. So when you have 3 party members, there's so much going on, especially when you have haste, that you just cannot micromanage every single character individually. And Barrett's usually the one I like care about the least.
Get the music!
Because I have Barrett as basically my mage until we get Eris. So for the most part, I just want him to have
Discover the music. Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, I never bought this one. That's one of the trophies that I'm definitely missing.
Oh, okay, cool. I actually helped. I'm helping.
I think I'm only missing like 2 or 3, but yeah.
Oh yeah, elite security officer? Oh my god. Enjoy the live stream.
So many guards.
Oh, we're here already. Holy crap, this was like way shorter than I remembered.